Hi there. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast with me, Russell Davis. This week, I want to explore a subject close to my heart, and that's being present. Because I can be addicted to my thinking. I spent so many years living life in my head, and I can get sucked back there from time to time. I want to explore what keeps us there, but also what we're missing out on when we're being present and alive to life. Our thinking often spends so much time protecting our heart, not opening our heart to life and everything it wants to give us. So let's dive in and explore how present we're being and what the gift is of being present. I'm a bit embarrassed to admit that 6 months into marriage, I really thought we had marriage nailed, relationships nailed. I even suggested perhaps we could write a book on relationships. How naive I was and probably arrogant. And one of the big things in our relationship that came to the fore in our fertility journey was that my wife said she felt lonely in our relationship. That made me really sad and shocked. I thought I was a good husband. And in all honesty, she had said it more than once before that point. But I think it was that point that really hit me at a time through the struggle, the pain, the grief of infertility. She felt alone. And it really helped me see how I was being, not just in my relationship, but in life, how much I lived in my head. I thought my thinking was my superpower. I thought it was a good thing. But I was beginning to see how it stopped me being present. It stopped me really engaging in life. It's like I was drifting through life, thinking my way through life. I wasn't really actually present and engaged. It stopped me loving. It stopped me receiving love. My heart wasn't open because I was in my head in this cave. And it was becoming an issue. I needed to accept that and try and do something about it. And there's nothing wrong with being in our head. There's nothing wrong with daydreaming. And that's what I was doing. I was living life in a daydream, this movie in my head. I was preempting situations, solving problems. It felt like a safe place because growing up, I guess, the emotional discourse and my mum, the way she was, unpredictable and alcoholic, it wasn't pleasant. Maybe it was scary, maybe it was sad, maybe there's grief. There's all sorts of feelings. I feel like being abandoned, unloved at times. And I guess I had to work out what I needed to do to try and feel more loved. Work out the rules of life to not be shouted at. So a combination of trying to think my way through life, but also I think when you're in your head thinking, you can't feel. You're not feeling. I guess it's a way of numbing. It's safer in my cave, in my head. No one can hurt me. But then it becomes a habit. Even though I'm no longer that kid in that situation, we grow up, become adults. That part of us continues. The habits we form, the psychological habits we form in childhood, become exactly that, habits. Call it habits, habitual thinking, unconscious mind in a child. Different forms of psychology give it different names. I think in essence it's the same thing. I began to recognize that part of me. I could see it for what it is. Initially I was frustrated with it because it stopped me being engaged. It stopped me being present. It stopped me being happier. And I couldn't stop it. So I resented it for a while. until I began to see what it was. This innocent little boy trying to have his needs met. An innocent habit. And so it's nothing more daydreaming. Daydreaming can be really fun and powerful, creative place to be. But I think we need to recognize, or I needed to recognize how much I was living my life in a daydream. I wasn't being present. And also to recognize how much it wasn't serving me. It really wasn't serving me. And I've learned over the years how much being present serves us. All the things I was trying to achieve in my head, to feel safe, to feel secure, to be protected, to solve problems, I wasn't achieving it. I wasn't achieving it. It's like an addiction. I was looking in the wrong place for the answer. I'd created a behavior that was telling me it was useful, but it really wasn't. And it felt scary not to do it. Scary to maybe feel life, the ups and downs of life, the pains, the disappointments, but also the joys and the happiness. To open my heart to life. That felt uncomfortable. But I began to realize how much more alive to life I feel when I'm being more present, how much more resources I have, how I can deal with whatever life throws at me. When I come out of my head and be present, I become more aligned to my true self, my soul, to spirit. Everything I'm seeking is in the present moment. Joy, peace, clarity, creativity, solutions. So often we think we're being present, but we're not. It can be this seductive habit that pulls us away from being present. I'm so much more aware of it. My wife and I can make a joke of it. If I'm talking to her, my mind wanders, she can tell. And she snaps her fingers and said, come back, come back. I'm no longer defensive. I can acknowledge it with loving compassion. I come back and be present. I can be very present. I think one of my qualities can be loving presence. But at the end of the day, when I'm tired and got a busy mind, and my wife sometimes gets the worst of me, but I crave to be loving presence for her, for me, because that's where the joy of life is. And at times when I feel tired or more stressed about something, my thinking can draw me back into my cave to solve problems, and I can catch it more, I can see it more. I'm more aware of whether I'm being present or not. And the more I see that truth and insight live in the present moment, the more I see I have a practical reason to be there. I have a practical reason to be there. And when I'm being present, I become more aligned to my true self, my soul. I believe we're spiritual beings having a physical experience. I become more aligned to my soul, this energy of life. And in fact, one of my mentors says that we're not spiritual beings having a physical experience. We're one spiritual being having, 9 or 6 or how many people are on the planet, billion human experiences. We're one spiritual being having 6 billion human experiences. We become connected when we're present. We feel part of something. We feel resourced. We feel like we belong when we're present. When we're present. And I think there's 3 layers of self. There's our ego, who we think we are. And we need thinking to navigate life. But then below that is our soul. I think our soul is formless. I think our soul is our unique expression of spirit. And I think below that is spirit, the energy of life, which I believe is loving. And I think when we become more present, I become more aligned to my soul. My thoughts come aligned to my soul. My thoughts turn from worry to insight, from overthinking to clarity, to wisdom. I become more connected to my soul. There's a lovely Sid Banks quote I like. It says, if you drop your ego, your image of self-importance, and simply be you, just you, whoever you are, you'll find the secret to heaven here on earth. And I think my overthinking, going into my cave, trying to work out who I should be to be successful, to be happy, to be safe, to be liked, not to be judged. Rather than just being me in this moment, in my humanness, my feelings, be alive to who I am in this moment, knowing that's okay. Opening my heart to who I am in this moment, opening my heart to life in this moment. If you drop your ego, your image of self-importance, and simply be you, just you, whoever you are, you'll find the secret to heaven here on earth. I think it's about being in this moment. This moment is the only moment that exists in space and time. The past doesn't exist. Only in our thoughts, our memories. The future doesn't exist. Only in our thoughts, our imagination. The only moment that truly exists is this present moment. And we're going to think about the future. It's natural. But our wisdom's not present. Our resources aren't present in that imagined future. So there's no point analysing it, overthinking it. Come back to being present. That's where you find heaven on earth. Loving you.